You all coming here for this seminar. We are really very thankful and we welcome you all. Your interest shows that you are interested in psychic field to know more about intuition. So we are going to talk today more on intuition. How many of you believe that you already have this intuitive power? Great. We are extremely sorry for the people who are standing and we cannot make any arrangements for your sitting arrangements. Please bear with us. Yes, today we are going to talk about how to use your intuitive power. Do you all believe in this, that yes, we have a power within ourselves?
Yes.
Have you experienced this power?
Yes.
This power can be named as intuition, it can be named as spirituality, it can be named as sixth sense, it can be named as gut feeling, or a dimension connecting with the divine. So yes, we are going to discuss with what and where is the power. We are going to discuss about whether it's free will or God's will. And the last thing we are going to discuss is how to create peace, success, happiness, prosperity, and many more things in your life. So let's begin with the first point. Where is this power? So yes, the power is within us, which very few of them rightly say that it's there in our subconscious mind. What do you see up there? An iceberg. The tip of the iceberg, the size of the tip of the iceberg is very less compared to the below part, right? The tip of the iceberg is compared to your conscious mind, which is hardly 10 to 12%. Now this conscious mind, we are operating from this conscious mind, most of us. The reason we are having stress and struggle in our life, we are not able to create the life the way we wanted, because we are operating only from the conscious mind. I'm not saying after learning intuition you don't have to operate on the conscious mind. Yes, you have to make a combination of both. But conscious mind deals with logic, reason, analysis, your own calculations, decisions, which is happening at the conscious level. So even though if you want to have conscious level financial abundance, for example, at times after working so hard, we are not able to achieve the financial abundance because the power lies in the subconscious mind, at the base of the iceberg. Now this subconscious mind is a bundle of all your experiences. When a child is born, till the age of 8, whatever the child sees, hears, listen, goes into the child's subconscious mind, because at that time the middle portion, the critical filter is not in place. So whatever you put your child in front of, if it's a television, the child is absorbing that part of the movie as its own reality. Similarly, we have also been exposed to this, but now we are not going to blame our parents and teachers that they have put in a wrong belief system. Probably they knew best what they could teach us. But now at this time, we have the power to change the old belief system which is not working in our life. So at the subconscious level, there are positive experiences and there are negative experiences. As we all know, everyone's life has ups and downs. That is positive thing happenings in your life and not so positive thing happenings in your life. Both of these experiences are recorded in your subconscious memory. So today when you're operating based on those belief systems. Let us take a practical activity, practical exercise, understanding what is positive experience and negative experiences. Tell me, how many of you love rain? Very few hands are going up. How many of you just hate rainy season? Are you getting the difference? Based on what you have experienced by the time you were 8 years old, if you have really enjoyed the rain, you would say, oh, rainy season is the best time. But if rainy season was not a good experience for you, maybe you were stuck up in some traffic jam, or maybe you were stuck up with the rain water clogged into your rooms and all, you would say, no, rainy season is the worst thing in my life. So based on your own personal experiences, it's positive or negative. It is stored in your subconscious mind. So every time it recurs in your life, the subconscious mind experience gives you a trick. It gives you a trigger where sometimes people have this fears and phobias. If people had a bad experience of flying, they will have a fear of flying. So with no logical answer to it, that why this person is scared, but that fear is somewhere stored in the subconscious mind. Another example what we can take is, if a person wants to have financial abundance, the person is well qualified, the person is really working very hard to make a living. But as a child, he was born and brought up in a not so good financially academic family. So what belief has gone into him was, money is difficult to earn. Money is not so easy to earn. Because of this existing belief, right now what's happening in his life? Even though he is working hard, he is not able to make enough money. But yes, we have a solution for this. If you have some negative experiences in your mind, you have the power to replace those negative experiences from your mind and replace it with something positive in your life. When I'm saying positive, does not mean positive or negative. What I'm trying, why I use the word positive, just to make you understand, because you're familiar with the word positive. Imagine if there was a glass half full of water, which I am sure you must have heard it a couple of times. What do you see? Some people will say half full, some people will say half empty. Now both these concepts are not so good concepts. Because when you are saying half full also, the subconscious mind is registering the unspoken word as well. When you say half full, the half word goes into your subconscious mind, which creates scarcity. Correct? So positive thinking is not so good in your life. Yes, it is better than the negative thinking. So the alternative option is the third step. This water has the potential possibility of quenching my thirst. What is important? Does it matter how much quantity the water is? Quenching your thirst is important. So when you start creating possibilities that this water has a potential possibility of quenching my thirst, automatically your subconscious mind will come from abundance rather than scarcity. So this is the way you have to change your limiting belief to possibility thinking. Correct? The paralysis of fear. Most of us are not operating at our highest level is because of this. And this is not only there in poor people. In fact, if you realize psychologically, when you study the research, it says the fear is more in the people who are already well-to-do. For people who don't have anything, they have an attitude, chalta hai, everything is fine. But if the people have everything, there is a fear, what if I lose it? What if I am not able to make this amount of money? What if I fall sick? Correct? So this fear is actually paralyzing our life and not allowing us to use our intuitive power. Where it says, fear and worry makes us attract the very thing we dread. So what is law of attraction? That if you have a fear in your subconscious mind, unconsciously you are attracting a similar situations in your life with the help of law of attraction. Fear in all its different phases of expression, such as worry, anxiety, jealousy, anger, timidity, is the greatest enemy of human race. Can anyone tell me that we are free from all this emotional upsets down? Anxiety, depression, grief, sadness, anger. So what is holding us back to use our intuitive powers? It's basically this fear which has robbed us of our intuitive power. It has robbed men of more happiness and efficiency. Fear is the greatest robber of power. So if you want to increase your intuitive power, first and the most important thing is operate from present, operate from future, where you have no fear in your mind but you are coming out of hope. See, basically when you have a fear, if you want to start a new business, what is the thought which comes in and blocks the business growth? The fear. What if it doesn't work? What if my investment goes wrong? So whenever you are in a dilemma where your negative thinking is so dominating, you have to start creating possibilities rather than saying, what if my business fail? How can I make my business prosper? And this is working for every small thing. I'll give you an example right away now. Most of you all were aware that there was a session happening at 2. There was a session happening at 3, right? but it didn't manifest it. And there is one female who kept on saying, no, this is not the way you all should operate. Immediately I asked myself, how can I make this possible? It wasn't that the trainer didn't want to give the session at 2 or 3, but there were no enough people here. So I made a commitment to myself, how can I make it better? How can I see that this room is full like this? And before even coming here, I conveyed to my participants, they are all my participants who are helping me here, that yes, come may what, this time when I am taking a session, the room will be full of, there will be less of chairs for people to sit. And if you turn around, it's exactly there. What made it happen? Only a thought of possibility that yes, if I'm here at 3:45, seeing me standing here, people would start collecting that yes, now the session is going to start. So it's only a small minor things we need to change in our life to attract the things we want in our life. This power is within us. So like the til seed contain oils, there's a fire in a flintstone, the power is within us. You have to realize it and you have to explore it. Like when you look at a til seed, you will never realize that there is a possibility of oil in it. When you see a stone, we couldn't think that there was a fire in the stone. But yes, the Stone Age people could discover that. Believe me, we all of us have this power within us. And I'm sure you must have experienced this, that whenever you are stuck up in a situation where you feel there is no end to it, somehow or the other there is one voice which is guiding you and you are again back on the track. When we are talking about whether it's free will or what will, it's a very complicated topic. If I start discussing and start debating, we will go on till evening with no conclusion. Beautiful, beautiful. So God's desire is that all His creation lives in peace, prosperity, happiness, enjoying rewarding relationships, have great health and fulfilling career. So if it is God's will, then this is His desire. But are we living up to this expectation? If we are not living up to this expectation, that means something is wrong within me. And what is wrong within me? If I am the co-creator, as a co-creator, we have to make a decision for prosperity. If we don't decide to prosper, we choose limitations and scarcity. And the next line is very important. All the abundance in the world is available to us. So as a co-creator, are we choosing to prosper? Or are we saying, no, it's faith, my life is not going to improve, let me accept God's will and go on ahead with my life? No. Frankly speaking, God doesn't want us to suffer. What He wants is good relationship, healthy life, good prosperity. Every area should be perfect, and that's why He blessed us with family, with friends, with society, so that you can live a very happy and enjoyable life. But if as a co-creator I am not living the life what God desires, that means something is wrong with me. I am not choosing to prosper. You might say that consciously I want to prosper, then what is stopping me from prospering? Conscious mind, as we know, it's hardly 10 to 12%. Whereas the subconscious mind is 88%. So if consciously I am agreeing to prosper, but subconsciously I have fear, I have my own belief system, I have my own thought process, which is a negative thought process, I have my own doubts, I have my own anger and resentment with my subconscious mind, will I be able to be successful? With all this thing in your mind, can you be successful? No. In fact, today morning somebody came to us and I was just telling them that if your money is blocked somewhere, you can do telepathy talk, convince the person to return back, pay back your money, and it works. This guy is telling me, I don't know whether he's here, I don't see him here. This guy is telling me, I don't mind paying you a part of it, why don't you do it? Even if you take 50% of the money which is there in my market, I don't mind giving you 50%, but let the 50% come to me. And I was trying to explain him that no, it doesn't work that way. Because this money blockage is not happening because of my subconscious blockage. This money issue is happening in your life because of your wrong belief, because of your wrong thought process, because of your wrong karmic work, probably because of your wrong law of attraction. So unless and until your subconscious mind is clear, free from that fear, no amount of external help I'm going to give you, it's not going to work. Okay, so here we need to understand that yes, as a co-creator, I have to decide to be prosperous. So what is intuition? It says, have you ever thought about someone you haven't seen in a while, only to have them contact you later the same day? How many times it has happened like this? Many a times. You're just thinking, 5 years old friend, 10 years old friend, a thought came to you and suddenly either the person comes in front or the person calls you up or the message comes. Do you often know how a person is going to finish this sentence? Many a times. If people are talking, we come to know that what this person's intention is, what the person is trying to convey to you. Whether the person is trying to market the product, whether the person is actually trying to help you out, or whether the person has some internal own belief system or intention behind making a sale. Intuitions are God's way of letting you know of His divine presence. Intuition is God's way of letting you know of its divine presence. So whatever messages you get from within, it's God giving you this direction for making your life more successful. As we say that God wants you to be successful. God wants you to be healthy. But if we aren't, that means we have not listened to this God's voice. Tell me how many times you were about to eat a burger and a voice told you that this is not good for you. Did it happen? Many times. So it's not we are unhealthy or sick because of God's will, but we have created the same thing for ourselves with our own thought process. So it's God's way of letting us know of His divine presence. Now why intuition? Why intuition comes into the picture? Every individual is experiencing so much unhappiness, tensions, frustrations, conflict in your life. Intuition can help to release this stress as a momentum to move forward. Intuition is a part to healing, wholeness, to our own personal evolution. If you realize as the years are passing by, we have developed a lot of scientific things where instead of taking the stairs, you can take the escalators. Where if you earlier days where you have to spend months upon months for sending a message to someone, now on a click of a button, you can send messages to so many people at a time. So even with this technological development, why aren't people happy and successful? In fact, the more the technology is increasing, the more stress is seeping into our life. Why? It has nothing to do, we are not saying that science is bad. We are not saying science is bad or it's extremely harmful to us. The technological development is not good for us. We are not saying that. But along with the technological revolution, we have to realize that your power is still within you. Intuition helps to take stress as a momentum to move forward. Money is coming in, the business is growing. So what if the person does is starts ignoring its health, start ignoring its relationship, start ignoring the things they love to do. What will happen then? Even though the person is making huge amount of money, but still that person will have stress in the mind. Why? Because he or she is not doing what is he or she is meant to do. If I tell in my background I have done my commerce graduation with marketing and financial management. What work I am doing is a psychological work. Now, I was forced to take up commerce and marketing management because my father was a banker. So he wanted me to study commerce so that I can easily get into the bank. But because it was not my mission, not a single day I have taken up any job related to finance, accounting. And if today also if I have to count money, it's difficult for me. Because that is not something I would love to do. Imagine if I was put into the best of the corporate world related to financial management. Could I have been successful? Very less chances. So yes, this training will help you to release stress by identifying what is your soul purpose, what are you born for? And if you realize your soul purpose and you start working on your hobbies, converting your hobbies into your profession, believe me, not only money comes in, but the amount of happiness, peace comes in, which has no words. Money will always follow. When you do something you love to do, money will always follow. But do something which you love to do, then there is no stress. Now coming to this 4 powers. We started with that we are born with 9 powers. We are using only 5 senses. Few people know the 6th sense. Now let us understand what are the other 4 powers. First, which most of us know, intuition, which is on the left hand side, prophetic. Like as if some inspiration came to you and you acted upon that inspiration, which is very common in all of us. I was offered the session at 2 o'clock in the beginning when I registered for this exhibition. My inner gut feeling said, and I have taken in the past, I have taken sessions at 2 o'clock. This was our first session. Somehow or the other, intuitively I said, I would love to have it at 4 o'clock. Even though the people are telling me, Laila, when you start the session, it's a big hit and people would love to attend the seminar after that. So you take the 2 o'clock seminar. I said, no, I don't know, somehow or the other I'm not feeling. There was no logical reasoning behind it. Because even when I started the session at 2 o'clock in the other exhibition, it has always been a hit. But this time, prophetically, intuitively, I just knew it, give me 4 o'clock session. And we know the history now, what has happened. So yes, this kind of messages comes to you. Where does it come from? It comes from your crown chakra. Yes, all these powers are based on the chakra. So this comes on the crown chakra, and this crown chakra is open for all of us sitting here. It cannot be blocked till your last breath. The crown chakra is always open. So you are getting the inspiration, but what are we doing? We are rejecting those information. No. With my positive thinking, I will manage at 2 o'clock also. Even though when my intuition is guiding me, don't do it, and I'm going beyond my intuition says, with my positive thinking, nahi ho jayega. Please don't do that. If you don't listen to your intuitive voice, you have to listen to the music of it. The second power on the right hand side, which is clairvoyance, which comes in the form of vision, your third eye. It's not only some people have their third eye open. Yes, it is a belief where we say it needs lots of practice to open the third eye. I disagree with that belief. We have the power to open up that third eye with a minimum amount of meditation. Just a small amount of meditation and focusing here, concentrating here, whenever you have a decision to make, close your eyes, focus on the third eye and ask for the information. Believe me, symbols, pictures will come in front of you and work on those symbols. Another technique to enhance your third eye is Pratakti. Burn a candle, keep on concentrating on the candle, and yes, the images will start appearing, which I am sure you are aware of. If you are coming in for the psychic fair, I am sure these little techniques you are aware of. The third is hearing, which is clairaudient. Now this hearing is not happening from this ear. There is a minor chakra just above your ear level, behind your ear level, a small soft part. When you press also it hurts a little. That's the minor chakra which gives you the inner voice. How many times you suddenly start singing, or maybe just a tune is moving in your mind. There's no music around you, but you still get that tune of it, or maybe the hymn of it. That's a clairaudient, where you are getting messages through your inner voice. The fourth power is feeling, clairsentience. Now this power comes from your solar plexus. Again, this is a very common. The first power and the last power is very common. Found in most of the people, 80% of the people, these powers are very strong. Clairvoyance is if somebody is sitting next to you or you enter a place, you just know the energy of that place. How many times you end up when you go to a shopping area or shopping mall, some shopping mall you are very fond of. But at the same time, some shops in that shopping mall, you don't even feel like going in, even if there is a big, huge sale. What is the difference? Your body has sensed the energy of that place, and your body is not willing to explore the other negative energy around. That's not only with the place. Some places when you go, you tend to spend a lot of time. To your friend's house, to your relative's house. What's happening? Because the energy of that place is so inviting, you don't feel like moving out. Even though you had planned a meeting for half an hour, but after half an hour, you don't feel like standing up and going. because the energy of that place is very adjustable to your own auric energy, which is making you sit there for a long time. So yes, what training we offer at Insights and Growth, developing all the four senses which can be used for every moment of your life. So it's not only used for spiritual people or only for business people. No, it is used for even a layman. Where when you're using your clairvoyance, you can see the aura of a person. Like in our stall, what we are doing is we are doing an aura reading. So if people are seeing the aura through the third eye, we are able to identify the beliefs, the blockages, your patterns in your life which is not allowing you to move on. And then there are solutions, simple solution where we guide you. Okay, now you do this and your aura will change and your blockages will be removed. Similarly, if there is any blockages, we help you identify with the third eye. This is beautiful, how intuition can help you. Would anybody like to read this? Anyone? Just read the slide on the board. Anyone?
The moment you are in tension, you will lose your attention. Then you are in total confusion and you will feel irritation. Then you will spoil personal relations. Then you will make things complication. Then your BP may also rise and you have to take medication. If you use your intuition, you will never come again to tension.
Thank you so much. Isn't it so perfect? Stress is a simple thing in his life, but that same stress is leading to health issues, relationship issues, financial issues, and your entire life becomes so complicated. If God has given you this beautiful life on this beautiful earth, why don't we do something which will not only enhance our life but also to help someone else also? So yes, if you learn intuition, you will never look at life the same way again. And whenever you are learning to use your intuitive power, we make it very clear. Don't use it only for your personal use. The amount of results you get when you use it for your personal growth is very limited. But the moment you start helping other people with your powers, see the amount of growth and expansion in this life. So what is life? Who will describe me life? What is life?
It's a beautiful journey.
It's a beautiful journey. Yes. What is life? Some more answers. What is life? Let us see here then. Life is indeed beautiful and simple, which God has given to us. But what are we really doing to keep it healthy, intact, free from tension, stress and anxiety? So if we are experiencing any amount of stress, tension, anxiety, depression, grief, fear, is because of we have treated life badly. Life has never treated us badly, but we have the tendency of making life complicated. It's a symbol. What is the shortest distance between two liners, two dots are? It's always a straight line. The shortest distance. But what we do? We never go straight. We go like this, we go like this, we go like this, and we never reach the destination. So whenever we are suffering, whenever we have stress, we catch hold of tarot readers, we catch hold of Feng Shui people. Chalo, come to my house and do the Feng Shui. We go to the Vastu, come do the Vastu before my house, because my life is not happening. Please, you have the power within yourself. You can identify what's wrong in your life. You have the power to identify what's wrong in your family life. There are few people who says, oh, as a lady, as a woman, I'm interested, but I'm not an earner in my family. My husband is an earner. Will this training help my husband also grow and expand? Yes, of course. So what you're learning from intuition is check the energy of the house, where the negativity is coming from. Check the energy of the aura. If you find your husband's aura or any family member's aura or your boss aura low frequency, you have the power to raise the frequency of the aura so the person starts operating from the highest potential. And each of us have this power not only to change our life, but also help other people change their life. Simple secret for being successful. There's only two things which can make you successful. Ability to concentrate and make appropriate or optimum use of your time. Most of us fail in this world. And very easily we say, oh, I cannot concentrate. मेरा इतना attention रहता ही नहीं, I cannot concentrate. How many of you want to actually achieve this kind of life? All of us. Convert this statement into an affirmation. Now, what is affirmation? Affirmations are short prayers which you do to ask the universe what you want. Universe and all the religion has been consistently telling us, ask and it will be given. Knock and the door shall open. This is a quote from Bible. But I'm sure there are many other quotes in different religion where it talks about the same thing. Whatever you ask will be delivered to you. But what are we asking? When we are saying, oh, I cannot concentrate, what are you saying? Negative. So what are you getting? What are you attracting? Lack of concentration. Many people, when I take sessions for the senior people, they say, oh, my memory is very weak, I can't remember. And imagine for so many years they have been repeatedly saying, my memory is weak, my memory is weak, my memory is weak. How can a memory be weak? For such people, I just ask them one thing. For senior people, do you remember how you were treated badly by your mother-in-law? And they would say, yes, I know it. Distinctly, I know it. What was the misunderstanding between you and your husband happened maybe 20 years back and they know it distinctly. So then can you say the memory is weak? So we are very choosy. We remember the things which we need to forget and we tend to forget the things which we need to remember. Chavi rakhkar bhul jate hain. We keep the mobile, some people are there who keep the mobile in the fridge by mistake. See, when they say, my memory is so weak, believe me, they will come and tell me, Laila, they want to prove it to me that yes, my memory is so weak that I forget my mobile in the refrigerator. And I turn around to them and say, it's not a weak memory. Understand, maybe because that is not your priority, you don't give importance to that. But you have a very perfect memory when it comes to relationship, when it comes to anger, when it comes to resentment. We are not ready to forgive those people who have hurt us. Tell me, everyone sitting here, have you forgiven each of us? Anybody who has made wrongs to you? Do you have the capacity to forgive them? Are you willing to forgive them?
Yes.
Then at the end of the session, I'll do a meditation with you. We will make sure that you release at least that resentment from your heart. We unintentionally keep this resentment. It's like holding a charcoal. Holding a charcoal, intention of is throwing at somebody. But what is happening? You are burning your own fingers. It's giving them a rent-free space in your heart. It's giving them a rent-free space in your subconscious mind. So if you want to be successful, make this an affirmation. So affirmation for this would be, I am concentrating and making appropriate use of my time and I am successful, so it is now. Simple prayer, you are giving it to the universe. You don't have to repeat again and again. If just said once with a proper intention, the work will be done. So your affirmations are like you planting seeds. If you plant the seed at the right time, with the right intention, the universe will make sure that the plant is created. But if you sow the seed with an intention, work hoga ke nahi hoga? Work hoga ke nahi hoga? Then it's not going to happen. So these short affirmations are short prayers you are giving to the universe, and whatever you ask from the universe, it will be manifested. I would like to give an example here. There was a participant who did this training. She went home and she felt this concept so beautiful. She made a big printout of it, placed it below her fire god. She had 2 sons. Her husband was working in the Navy. She requested her son that if you want to be successful in studies, say this affirmation every day. And their exams were just approaching in 15 days' time. Both the kids kept on, after their prayers in the morning, they would give this intention. But yes, at the end they would say, I am successful in my studies, so it is now. And they would go. After a month when this female met me, she is telling me, Laila, there's a good news. The miracles are working in such a way, I could see 15% difference in my elder son and 10% difference in my younger son in the results, the percentage of the exams. So yes, it makes a big difference when you start using this affirmation in a proper way. Intuition gives you the power. So when we are talking about intuition, it's giving you lots of power power to tap into the subconscious mind, which we discussed in the beginning, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So tapping means if there are any negative experiences in my subconscious mind, in my own mind I have the capacity to change the negative experience into possibility experiences. To create your future. As I said, that future is not set in stone. So even though my qualification said that I am a BCom graduate, I have done my masters in marketing and financial, but I was not happy. So you have the power to create your future the way you want it. And the moment you are clear with what you are wanting to create, you will be connected with the right person, the right sources, where the things will start moving forward in your life plan. To connect to the divine, yes, this training talks a lot about connecting to your own energy, to your own God in a better way. Where we all of us believe that there's a supernatural energy which is there guiding us, motivating us to create wealth, health and happiness. So if you're connected with that divine so strongly, is it possible for you to create health, wealth, happiness, good relationship, beautiful career, beautiful life, good house? Everything is possible. Your desire is very important and your changing of the belief system is very important. So yes, intuition expands your life. What is intuition doing? Expanding your life. What a great word for a powerful life. To grow, to increase, to be more than what you are today. So when people come in for my intuitive training program, I tell them, have a count every day in your life. How much you are better than yesterday. Because when you are talking about intuition, it's not like that you study and use it only when it is required. It has to be used every moment to moment. For example, if you want to go out from here today, and if it's raining very heavily, your intention should be, I am reaching home safely. You cannot ask the universe to stop raining. Because when you are asking for stop raining, what are you doing is, you are contracting somebody else who needs the rain. So here you are asking for yourself by saying, I should reach home dry and safe. And believe me, you'll be able to do so. So expansion is using your intuitive power for every small things in your life, moment to moment, and then you're expanding your life. While you're filling up, I just request Vijay, who has done the training last month, to talk a little bit about, he has attended the financial seminar, and let's see what difference it has made in his life. Yes, Vijay?
Hi, my name is Vijay and I deal in real estate. I have done Lelavi's course just a month back. Prior to doing her workshop, I had done a deal. I had sold a flat to a purchaser for about ₹1.5 crore. In the midst of the deal, the purchaser was wanting to back out after paying practically 85 lakhs. Now my seller who had sold this flat had already paid part of that money to the seller of the house that he wanted to purchase. The purchaser of this person wanted to back out of the deal and we were in a fix. I went back to Lelaji and I asked her, what do I do? She suggested that I do a technique of raising the frequency of the chakras of all people who are involved in the deal. I followed what she did, what she had told me continuously for a number of days. It resulted in my deal happening very smoothly, gracefully. I have completed that transaction just 3 days back, and thank you to her for guiding me through this difficult time. I have completed that deal gracefully and successfully, and all the people involved in the deal are very happy. The conclusion that I would like to say is that this intuitive training gives you the power to shape your destiny. It teaches you how to attract continuous flow of abundance and shower of prosperity. It also teaches you how to be at peace and bliss. Thank you.
If you want to know more about the training details, we are there.